All right, super quick review. Not even a review all that much. It's just kind of like a quick little yay or nay kind of thing. I know when this movie was announced, I was like, oh, they're gonna remake Jumanji. That's whatever. We'll see. Everyone's gonna bitch like they did with Ghostbusters and every other, beloved movie. You never heard anyone talk about this movie almost ever until this remake or whatever it was at that time was announced, and then all of a sudden people were like, you're ruining my childhood, and I'm like, dude, I've never even heard you talk about Jumanji, shut up. But I saw that The Rock was in it, and I'm a big fan of The Rock. I think that he can be absolutely excellent. I think his charisma is just electric, and that he can really kind of demand the attention of the viewers at times. Like, he's very charismatic, and that's what makes him so good. I just wish that The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson, whatever he wants to be called, would please do his family-friendly movie and then split it up and do an R-rated action movie. Please. Like, you're basically our new Arnold. Like, that's what he is. And I just feel like with him being our new Arnold Schwarzenegger, that I wish that he could kind of, I don't know, divvy it up a little bit, balance it out like Arnold used to do. Like, where he would do a Terminator, and then he'd do a Kindergarten Cop, and then he would do a Predator, and then he would do a Twins. Like, it's fine to play in the family-friendly area and make it more like PG-13 type stuff. Those are the paycheck films, or the big films, and whatever. But please, make some R-rated films. I want to see The Rock kick some ass. I want to see some Commando shit. I want to see some Predator. I want to see Conan the Barbarian. I want to see something gritty and real and aggressive and mean. I want to see him breaking people's fucking heads. I want to see The Rock just decimate people, and we need something like that from him. I would love to see a Terminator out of him. Holy shit, why isn't he doing these kinds of movies? One of the only R-rated movies that I've seen from him in forever, which I loved, and a lot of people might give me shit for this, is Pain and Gain. I know a lot of people are down on like the fact that they were playing, like, making their crimes not seem this and that. Like, dude, there's so many movies like that. I'm sorry, but whatever. But I thought he was freaking hilarious in that, putting all the true story aside and whatnot. And I actually kind of know somebody that was involved in that, weirdly enough. That's a whole different story. But it's a freaking hilarious film. Like, I love his performance in that. Anyway, I'm getting too much off the topic, but I am talking about The Rock here. It's kind of why I wanted to do this discussion about Jumanji. Jack Black is somebody who is fun. He's always fun. He's goofy, and I've always liked Tenacious D, and I remember him all the way back in like Neverending Story 3 and The Cable Guy, and all these little bit roles that he would get. And then he kind of broke onto the scene. Oh shit, I can't even remember. What was Jack Black's first like thing that he made that was popular? I don't know. Anyway, this isn't the place to think. This is the place to talk. And then Kevin Hart, which Kevin Hart for me is, I don't know, I don't watch his stand-up all that much, but he's pretty funny. And then the girl in this is super attractive. I'm having a hard time placing her in my head, what she does, but she's cool. So yeah, I like that when this movie starts. I think you kind of see that this is a sequel to the original one. The board game morphs into a video game in order to, get with the times, I suppose. When it was made, I'm sure that's what board games were around, and then this thing's getting ignored, so it morphs itself into a video game so that it can be played. These kids, find the thing, they plug themselves in, and they become their avatars. The dorky kid becomes The Rock, and the big football player becomes little Kevin Hart. I think that the big strengths of this movie for me personally, outside of like some of the fun comedy that's in this, because it's mostly just a comedy with some action set pieces, I think the thing that works best for me in this film is me being a gamer and understanding gaming and all the little tropes and stuff that are in gaming and the jokes that they threw in here for gamers. Basically, they do explain it to the audience so that the people who don't play video games don't feel alienated and are like, what the hell is this? Is this supposed to be funny or something? But I do love those little jokes about like, you know, in character, you know, non-player characters within the game that just keep repeating the same lines over and over, and they take you to a specific place and you can't move from that place. And you know, I love those kinds of little attentions to detail in here, that they made it a video game and that they stuck to all the video game bylines there. So I thought that was really fun. It's pretty cut and dry. I mean, there's no big surprises or anything. It goes all the ways that you think it is. I think the reason that this film was as successful as it was with its audience, because the majority of people I talked to, in fact, I still have yet to see anybody who says that they just outright disliked or hated this movie. But I think it is because they thought this was going to just be so dreadful that their expectations were like bottom of the barrel kind of stuff, and they were like, wow, I'm actually kind of enjoying this, which then elevated it to like, I really enjoyed it. It's like, okay, but I had a good time with it. I didn't love it, but I watched the whole thing, and I watched it with my kids, and they had a good time, and I had a good time. So it was a fun family little adventure there. So something I would recommend checking out. I wouldn't go in with high expectations or anything, but if you're a fan of the cast, I'm sure you've already seen it, but if you haven't, I would give it a chance in case you're somebody who's like, that's blasphemy that they made another one and whatever. It's fun. It's a good time. It's just turn off your brain and enjoy, especially if you're a gamer. So anyways, all right, guys.